Hi guys, here's my rundown of the second hearing for ADOR and NewJeans contract validity case. Obligatory disclaimer, 0 law degrees, just yap. First of all, the judge was very disappointed that NewJeans shut down the possibility of a settlement during the first hearing. Touché, Judge, touché. He tried again to suggest an agreement, and plainly states that the court recommends this outcome. ADOR was of course open to this like I said they would be for months. NewJeans remains firmly against it, for reasons related to a river and a bridge or something. I'm being a bit blasé here because it's just more of the same. I mean, they should just settle it'd be best for NewJeans especially. Whatever though, if they want to keep this going then that's their choice. I do hope they realise that this suggestion was likely the judge trying to spare them a harsh ruling in the end. When ADOR says they think an agreement will be easy to reach after a court ruling, that's basically them saying NewJeans will want to negotiate once they get hit with a large penalty fee. ADOR also accused NewJeans of acting in bad faith and constantly changing their termination reasons, almost like they're trying to end the contract at all costs and retroactively justify their walkout. The point of these remarks is to turn the breach of trust angle around on NewJeans. They actually have an obligation to work toward maintaining the contract and trust relationship, not just ADOR. So this is basically them saying NewJeans didn't and isn't doing that. According to NewJeans' side, ADOR did not provide sufficient evidence that they upheld their end of the bargain. Once Min Hee-jin was replaced as CEO, the agency's management went through significant changes. A subpoena was filed to compel ADOR to reveal any preemptive discussions or plans to protect NewJeans from this inevitable fallout. It was partially granted, and ADOR will prepare a response to this inquiry by the next hearing on July 24th. NewJeans' side also requested more details about the list of producers ADOR met with, as simply listing names is not a true fulfillment of management obligation. I think it's worth noting that ADOR claims they tried to meet with NewJeans and discuss production alternatives prior to termination, but the members refused dialogue. It's a little hard to explain the production plans you have for the group when the artists refuse to talk to you, but hey, that's just what they say. Sejong did a good thing by asking ADOR to elaborate on their production plans and any actions they took before NewJeans demanded corrective measures. We know they tried to maintain Min Hee-jin in a creative capacity, but what was the plan if she refused? Their consolidated argument seems to be that NewJeans signed exclusive contracts expecting the level of care shown to them by Min Hee-jin, therefore ADOR being incapable of replicating. This resulted in a loss of trust. I did mention in a previous video that NewJeans' breach of trust angle was leaning toward a loss of trust in ADOR's willingness to support their activities. They believe the company didn't seek new producers because they were intent on abandoning them. NewJeans also assert that ADOR manipulated the media against them, but actually, the court calls this a purely emotional argument and tossed it out completely. NewJeans are attempting to deflect the burden of proof, which is smart. At the end of the day, though, a judge already told them they have to prove their termination was valid. What this is beginning to feel like is a heated disagreement between business partners playing out in court. If NewJeans wanted to know what ADOR discussed with the alternative producers, they could have just asked. Yes, they could have just met with the company, and if the result was less than satisfactory, then they would have a more solid foundation to build a case on. NewJeans' side also questioned the legality of evidence ADOR requested to be transferred from the Source Music versus Min Hee-jin case. Sejong argued that the materials were illegally obtained. They argued the same while representing Min Hee-jin during that trial. The court sided with ADOR at this stage, allowing the transfer of evidence, and will reassess once ADOR extracts the exact materials they want to present. This was a procedural tactic from Sejong, which is certainly a legit strategy. All I really took from this is, hey, is this Yol finally admitting those leaked messages are real? I didn't actually get to cover the Min Hee-jin hearing because I needed to let my computer export the long-form video. That's the good news though. The video is done, so I'll finally get to post it. Be on the lookout for my next upload. Thank you for watching.